All right, good evening. This is Tuesday, October 12th, 2021, meeting of the Town of Berlin Planning Board. As a preliminary matter, please note this meeting is being recorded and some of the attendees will be participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware folks may be able to see you, the ugly band t-shirt you decided to wear tonight, or anything you intend to or not screen share on your computer. Anything you broadcast will be captured and recorded forever and ever and will possibly wind up as a TikTok video that will be shared amongst your friends and neighbors. This is Tom Sanford, Chair of the Planning Board. Permit me to confirm the members of the Planning Board on the agenda. Persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Planning Board members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jay Teach.
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler.
Aye.
Carolyn McDonald.
Aye.
We'll get to anticipated. Actually, we don't have any anticipated speakers. With a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 7:37 p.m. Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. This is a meeting of the planning board being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth of Mass due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. Specific information and guidelines for remote participation by members of the public can be found on the Town of Berlin website. The governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location and encourages us to participate remotely. For this meeting, the planning board is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, which includes links for the public to join this meeting. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After their concluding remarks, I'll invite each board member by name to provide comment, questions, and penetrating insights and/or motions. Please hold all your insights till your name is called. Board members and speakers on the agenda, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Speak clearly to ensure accurate minutes are recorded. For responses, please wait till you yield to the floor and state your name before speaking. If board members wish to engage in conversation with one another, please do so through me to avoid multiple conversations at the same time. Lastly, please note that each and every vote in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Thank you all for your understanding and cooperation. So, first order of business is mail. We have a bill that was in the mailbox from Gatehouse, and it is for CPAC hearings.
Thank you.
Yes. Are we paying for these or does the CPAC?
No, we don't have any money.
You don't have any money. You just gave it all away.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes, huh?
How much is it for?
$88.66.
Holy mackerel.
I know, huh?
I move that we pay a bill to Gatehouse for 88, what, 66?
$88.66 from the planning board.
From the planning board's expense fund, yeah.
Remember, when the planning board runs out of money, we're coming to the CPAC for reimbursement.
Well, there's two of us on the committee.
That's
Your odds are
true.
pretty
I'll
good.
vote. Well, actually, we could hang the vote. Jay, you've got to be voting on my side now. We'll hang the vote.
We tried to pay it, but
They didn't want to pay it, right? Okay. All right. So,
all right. I actually seem to remember Tim asking ahead of time if this was okay, asking you, sir,
really,
our fearless leader.
I couldn't have been that benevolent. You must have caught me on a good day.
Actually, is this the second time didn't we do hearings earlier too?
Right. Well,
We had
that's
these hearings happened while the notice was put in on 8/25. Or was the hearing 8/25?
I think you paid for, did we do hearings before? We've done two hearings.
have we done two?
There are two.
I think CPAC did hearings for the, did we do something when we were getting ready for town meeting?
Oh, let's see. 8:25 was the public hearing.
Yeah.
You must have did something in the spring.
Right, so that was the public hearing for
This round.
That was for
plan,
for
the
the,
commu, yeah.
for the community preservation plan. Yeah,
um, I second Tim's motion, by the way.
Figures, peas in a pod. All right, so we have a, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion to this? Seeing none, I will ask you to vote to pay Gatehouse Media this total sum of $88.66 on behalf of the community preservation. I guess I have to do it by roll call, huh? Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
aye.
Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
and Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous to pay. Thank you. I'm gonna have to, it doesn't matter. I got some signatures I gotta run around anyways and get, because my friend will say, no, you just can't sign it yourself. I need another signature of somebody on the board. Just because I'm gonna abscond with $88.66. But
Via
I digress.
Gatehouse.
Exactly. Via Gatehouse Media. Yep. Yep. I'm absconding. It's not going to be for $86 and
Right,
$88.66.
that won't
Okay.
get you to Worcester, never
Several
mind
more
Mexico.
zeros. Several more zeros. All right. We got 2 more minutes before we have the, actually could probably take it up now. Is there anybody in the audience?
Dan Wolf is gonna speak on my behalf because I don't understand any of this stuff.
Yeah, I hear we have a hearing for some scoundrel.
Not a hearing.
Right,
Hey.
yeah, not a hearing, I'm sorry.
No.
You.
So
Oh,
Dan will probably raise his hand if you can let him
just
in.
did, yep.
I have a whole bunch of email, by the way.
You
What?
do? Great.
Sit.
I unfortunately don't look at very often, so it all stacks up. We can talk about it at the end. Most of it, I think, ends up going somewhere else and getting taken care of.
We
All
hope.
right, so
Pretty
we
soon the
have,
mailbox will be full and that problem will go away.
it's true. We have a A&R proposal, which I sent around the plan, which Jay unlocked for us all.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep,
Okay, I don't know if I'm being seen though.
no,
No.
did
Alright.
you turn your camera on?
It usually is on. I don't even have a toggle button for turning it on and off. It's a
So
diff-
if you move your mouse, the
Yep.
bar should show up on the bottom of the screen.
The only thing on the bottom of the screen is to mute the microphone or to raise my hand.
I think you have to get promoted to be able to do that.
Oh, hold on. Yeah,
I-
Because that's what
yeah.
mine looked at before.
Let me
they
do-
clicked
let
to
me
get
do-
promoted.
There we go.
all right.
And there I
There
am.
he
There
is.
you go.
All right. Well, first I need to apologize to the planning board. And most importantly, I need to apologize to my client, Tim Wheeler. Is that the surveyor that I had asked to submit the plan to the planning board office submitted a previous version of the plan that Tim and I wanted to present tonight. Tim, I don't know if you noticed that.
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay. Well, here's the story, and it actually may be useful just to give you a brief introduction. Tim and I have been working together for a number of months now and doing just some future planning for the farm. And the first and most important thing that we had done was to create a larger lot to encompass the house at number 240 Pleasant Street. This is the duplex house next to Tim's house. And we have added frontage and area to this lot, and that is the lot that we wanted to present tonight. But in doing so, we were also planning to increase the acreage of the abutting lot to also bring that into conformance with the 80,000 square foot requirement. And there was an earlier plan that showed those two lots as lots 1 and 2. But all we intended to bring together tonight was the increased area for house number 240. And that is not what has been received in your packets. I guess the best thing to do at this point would be I need to get you the most recent plan that we had intended to bring forward. And I'm sorry for taking up your time tonight with this mishap. Tim, I am hoping that this isn't following up any schedule that you have to get this done and that we can meet with the board at their next meeting.
Well, you know, perhaps the board would consider the plan as presented, because it does show lot 1, which is the one we're gonna ask them to sign. And nothing changes on
Right.
that plan, right?
I can, yes, that lot will end up being just as we have in the plan that you're looking at tonight.
And they're not gonna sign it tonight anyway.
So I
so
can get the
if-
revised plan to the town hall tomorrow, perhaps.
Well, we'll see what the chair says.
Well, the chair wants to have a little more information here first. So what the idea of this is you've created, you've had 2 lots and you're making them more conforming by adding acreage?
Yes, the 2 parcels we're talking about were 2 distinct and individual parcels, one containing the house at 240, which was
Right.
substandard with both frontage and area, and the building at number 244, which was substandard in regard to frontage and area.
Right.
So really, the only proposal that we're asking you to consider tonight is we've increased the frontage, although we did not increase it to the point of total conformance because of
Okay.
other factors.
Yeah.
But we've made a non-conforming lot much better. And we have increased the area to a full 80,015 square feet.
Right. Right. Okay, so the I guess there's a, so what? Is there a way when we get the revised plan to have the total lineal footage of frontage put on them? Right now you have a side setback on the left and the right, and then the existing house, but there's no lineal footage on the house. There's no total lineal footage we can figure out from the plan, right?
Right, we can certainly do that. Yes, on the plan that was intended to be submitted, it does show the
Does show? Okay,
the
All right.
frontage.
okay.
And that's jumped to what, 175 now, I think.
150 is what we are
150.
providing this lot. It currently has 83.22 feet.
Okay.
And it currently has just over 8,000 square feet of area. So it's increased lot size by
Significantly.
tenfold.
Yep, okay, right. So here's it's an existing non-conforming parcel that you're making more conforming. So what happens if the decision is to remove the existing house and put a bigger house on it?
Because the lot is still non-conforming by
Right.
means of its frontage, we would still need to go to the zoning board of appeals
Okay.
for a special permit
All
for
right,
a non-conforming structure,
got it.
a
All right.
non-conforming lot. I'm sorry.
Lot, right, for relief for a non-conforming lot. All right, okay, all right, so there is a mechanism for all parties. Because it's uncomfortable for the planning board to create a better non-conforming lot, knowing that at some point in time, somebody might want to change something and pull a fast one. Not that Tim would pull a fast one, but
Oh, don't count on it. Yeah.
that's right. You learn from
I
the best.
told you he's a scoundrel.
Was the lot line between lots 1 and 2, is that an existing one?
Between what you see as lot 1 and 2, that is a new lot line. The existing lot line was a much shorter line, and it went directly between the house at 240 and the building at 244 for a limited distance.
So,
So why is it put in a location where there's not enough side setback? Like if you moved it over a little bit, both houses would have adequate side setback, right? Supposed to be 20 feet.
Right. That is because we're actually just following the existing lot line. Again, the intention was to simply deal with lot 1 here. And the 17.9 feet to the building at 244 is just showing you an existing condition.
What's the setback on the other side of lot 2 from the building?
The other side of lot 2.
The other side of the building on lot 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 30 feet or something.
Yeah,
30, 40
Right.
feet.
that's probably not 30, but I bet you it's a good 20, 24.
I agree. It's certainly complying on that side.
You just move the building over a little bit, it'll be fine.
Just-
What happens when it's commercial village zoning and you want to put a house there?
We're grandfathered as a residence at this point.
No,
Also,
that's
commercial- no.
commercial, the
tractor shop,
commercial
right?
village,
Yeah.
the residential versus the commercial village district is the current line between those two buildings. And that's another reason why it's best to keep that lot line intact where it is, because that is the defined zoning line.
Right, but suppose Tim wants to put a single family house there, or turn the tractor barn into a really cool funky residence with tractors all around and everything. Can you build a residential? Does it have to get rezoned to put residential?
Tiny
property?
house.
You could get
It's
a house. in
possible
there.
that he could put that residence further back on lot 2 where it does become residential agriculture, or he could petition the zoning board of appeals to allow a residence in the commercial village.
yeah, residential uses are allowed in
Allowed in
the
the commercial.
commercial village zone.
They are, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking you.
Okay. So, we understand what you're doing. I suppose we can take a vote on whether we'll endorse this plan with the modification that's gonna come. The physical signing will be on the revised plan as long as it doesn't alter from what we talked about tonight. I don't have a problem with that, I don't think. Any other board members have a fundamental problem with what we want to do? If we take a
Me.
vote? Huh? What'd you say, Jay?
Yeah, it's fine with me, yeah.
So lot
Caroline?
1 will show up on the new plan, lot 2 will disappear, and the frontage for lot 1 of 150 feet will
Will be added.
materialize.
Right.
Right, Dan?
That's correct.
I didn't even look at this plan. What a riot.
Are you really taking out the greenhouses?
Yeah, those greenhouses are gonna move over to the village power lot.
Oh,
Village power is becoming our center for a lot of ag. We got one greenhouse over there now, and we'll add these other two probably too.
Well, Tim, you obviously weren't the only one that didn't look at the plan, because I discovered this oversight about 10 minutes before I signed on, so you can imagine how I feel. I'm sorry for the confusion.
are you putting easements in, Tim, to get from the village power lot over to your farm lot?
Um,
Tractor roads or something?
What's gonna
Easements-
happen is there's a bunch of things that may happen over time. But we'll come back to those later. At this stage, we're just trying to get the lots defined. But there'll probably be a conservation restriction on the back half of lot 1 at some point, and lot 2 and the post office lot. And it's sort of allowing Indian Head Farm Inc. access to the agricultural use of those lands, that sort of thing. So
Oh,
in perpetuity.
When you're ready to
Because-
write that, if you want help.
Because this goes, I mean, when you start to look at these 3 lots, and we're gonna eventually do the same thing with a house lot for the main farmhouse and the farm stand. Suddenly you end up, using about 10 acres of land for the 5 lots, and that goes out into the fields quite a bit, so. In case any of those ever changed hands.
I was
We
gonna
pro-
say, Jay, your comment about easements is very appropriate if they were changing hands and outside the control of the farm.
But we're gonna try to clean, we're working on this whole notion of, whether we want to do a CR on the backland and that sort of stuff, so. But that's at a later date.
okay. Does anybody else have, any of the board members have any more comments?
Nope. I think as long as the plan that we sign shows
right.
all that we discussed.
If it doesn't, we don't have to sign it.
Right.
But I trust Dan, it will.
It will.
Yes.
The overall lot of lot 1 on the plan that should have been submitted actually shows the original outline of the house lot number 240, as well as the acreage that's being added to it. So there's more detail on that,
Oh, okay.
but it will be self-explanatory, and you'll see how it contains the proper acreage now.
Okay. All right. So we have a plan of land prepared for Timothy H. Wheeler, dated October. Dated. No, you didn't date it.
October 5th, isn't it?
The stamp was affixed to it on October 5th.
Okay, October 5th, 2021, prepared by David E. Ross Associates. Is that the plan number? Is that the plan number? Or is that the?
Yeah,
plot?
down the bottom right, plan number L
Yeah,
14.
14,346. I was looking for a book and page. Oh, here it is, book 51,957-254. Lots 1 and 2. Division of the property described in the deed. As a approval not required under the zoning control. Wow. I made the motion because I had all the stuff here, so usually I don't make motions, but
I'll second.
so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I was trying to figure out how to share my screen and show the plan, but
I think
because
we're
I've
all
got
set.
the plan here.
Yeah, I got the plan in front, I got the physical plan in front of me and I emailed copies around to everybody, so.
Well, I got the correct plan.
Oh, you got the correct plan?
Yeah, except I've never figured out how to share my screen.
Tim, if you want to email that to me, I can share it.
Oh, can we do that?
It's what we usually do at CPA.
You mean someday I may figure this out?
Yes.
All right. That's a great idea. We'll do that.
That is a great idea. I'm glad that you'll be able to see it. I'd feel more comfortable that way.
Just waiting for it to come in.
While we're waiting for it, I make another motion that we waive the fee for this, for all of the service that Tim and his family have provided.
Yeah, right.
Second.
No way.
Yeah. You caught me in a weak moment.
No, I'm paying the damn fee. You're not
Yeah,
catching
you
but
wanna
me.
he gave you a hard time about the $88, so.
Goods and
right.
services. I'll be in trouble for the rest of my life.
No, no one's gonna challenge it.
Did I send you the wrong one?
I don't, well, I'll let you know in a minute.
think I
Let's
did.
see. What would I look for that would be different?
Everything.
Right, so
You shouldn't say
It's just
lot
gonna
two.
show lot one.
Yeah, it should.
Uh,
say lot
it
one.
shows lot 1 and 2, the one you
Okay,
sent me.
I'm sending you another one.
Okay,
I think this is the right one this
Thi-
time.
This will still not have the total frontage of the lot one, though.
It will have it defined in two segments.
It
Yeah,
will. Okay.
yep.
there we go.
And where
Ooh,
it comes, the-
And it's the right, oh, yeah. Yes. this
And you can see
definitely-
it without standing on your head.
Exactly.
Oh, lying, turn your head sideways like this.
All right, so I need to download it.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Download it and then I share?
From an email, yes.
Oh, wow.
All right, so now. Hold on 1 second. Do this just a little differently.
Boy, are we lucky to have you.
Well, you know. All right, can you see that?
Hey, look at that.
All right. So that just does show just lot 1.
right, you can see down,
Perfect. Yep.
surrounding the existing house is the original lot. And then parcel 1 of 70,000 square feet is being added to that to form the overall lot. There are the two frontage segments of 8322 in front of the existing house and 6678 to the left,
Right.
total of
Yeah.
150.
Perfect.
So the perimeter is the very same thing that you saw on the previous plan.
Yes.
That also shows the outline of the original parcel that contains the building at 244 Village Power,
So this right here.
next
that's
plot
not-
over.
Oh,
So that's the
Yes.
original parcel there. And you can see instead of creating lot 2, we're just showing where the farmland starts and it's labeled as remaining land of 62.3 acres.
So you took down the acreage slightly, right? Or does the parcel one not contain the shape around the house? You got 70,416 and we had 80,015.
Right, so the idea of this plan here is to create parcel 1, and in the notes, it will say parcel 1 is to be joined with
Got
the
it.
original
Okay.
acreage of house number 244, 240.
Okay.
perfect. And that brings it up to the 80,000.
Correct, 80,015.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to see this. Because nothing else has changed other than showing more detail of the existing lot versus the ending resulting lot.
Cool. Okay. So we'll get 2 paper copies and a Mylar dropped off for us to sign.
Yes,
Perfect.
All right,
Okay, so at this point, I'll ask us to vote on accepting this A and R as presented on the screen. Jay Teach,
Aye.
Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
and Tom Sanford, aye. I'm assuming that Mr. Wheeler is not going to,
I'm recusing myself. Is that the proper term?
that is, it's the proper term. Okay, carries unanimous. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and I'm sorry for the confusion.
No,
And Dr. Wolf, you're getting me a well location for the post office lot sometime, right?
Yes, that well location plan is, will be done this week.
I like that.
Okay,
Okay,
very good. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Awesome.
thank
Good
you.
thank
night.
you. And thanks to the board. What a wonderful board.
We do our best. All right, I was able to, moving right along to the next item on the agenda, I was able to locate the Mylars for Amos Wheeler. They showed
good.
up. Yeah, so we need to, we don't need to do anything because we've already voted and we've already got a decision, but we need to sign the Mylars. So when I circulate that other plan, I'll circulate this one. So what's everybody's schedule look like for the next couple of days or so? Towards the end of the week.
I'm around till Saturday. Sunday morning at 11:30, I leave for 10 days in New Mexico.
Okay, so I need to get
Oh,
you
that's
the-
terrible.
before then.
I know, right?
Are you working on Friday?
Yes,
You
but
are?
I'm out at 3.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I'll do it Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Jay, are you around Friday afternoon or not?
Ooh.
Jay's frozen.
Either he's playing statue or he's frozen.
That Stephen Hawkins look to him.
Right. Wow, he's good at this.
Is Tim, Tim, are you around? on
Yep.
Friday? Okay.
Yep.
great. So I'll swing I'll swing it around to everybody on Friday and get some signatures.
Awesome.
And we'll assume Jay is going to be around. If not, we'll chase him down some other time. He's stargazing at this moment in time.
Oh,
disappeared.
He's really gone now.
I assume
Wait.
he'll be back shortly,
Lucky he was here for the vote.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is he?
He's not back yet.
Back yet.
No.
Maybe he's very unhappy. with that.
Or his whole internet just crashed or something.
All right, so moving right along. The next item that's on the agenda is we have a proposal for a sign up at Highland Commons for the name of the company is Artie Fabrics. And they gave us our typical table and everything else. It does conform, it fits all of the guidelines of all the stuff we've done in the past. So if we could vote on whether we'll accept this, I can send this to the building inspector because I think they're already trying to put the sign on or get a sign made and we've
Where's
been-
it going? I mean, which,
So it's Artie Fabrics and the physical location is right next to Alta Beauty. Or near.
oh,
Ulta Beauty.
where? Next to, oh, so
Ulta.
yeah, the clothing store.
Yeah, so
was there.
what was their,
It was
Lane Bryant?
Dress Barn or Lane Bryant
It was Lane
or,
Bryant,
yeah.
one of those. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's going there. It's between Alter and TJ Maxx.
What's it like? Joanne Fabrics or something?
It's fabrics and home. So. I
Ooh,
don't
that's
know.
gonna be dangerous. I might have to start sewing again.
That's good. I move that we approve a proposed sign for whatever fabrics,
RT Fabrics.
RT Fabrics at
Highland
Highland Commons.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept this. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask you to vote. Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Carolyn McDonald,
aye.
and Tom Sanford, aye. So I'll sign this. Actually, I'll sign it right now, and then I will send it to the building inspector tomorrow. All righty. Thank you. I'll get that off the update center. And I think that's
There he is.
it for stuff on the agenda.
You missed the big giant vote of the night.
Yeah, sorry.
The internet just died.
We were talking about whether that was the culprit or not.
Got three
Did you
different.
went into your Stephen Hawkins lookalike? Just got
I have,
gazing off into the stars.
I've got three different ways to connect to the internet, but it seems like they all die at the same time. Like this, this little thing, which was working great, and then now the battery won't charge and it just stops.
Oh.
This one, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
Hotspot,
And the wire coming in from the street, which is terrible.
really? Unfortunate. Well, anyways, what you missed was we had a vote on a sign up at Highland Commons for RT Fabrics, which
Okay.
conforms. So we're good there. And that's everything that I have on the agenda and all the stuff that was in the mailbox.
You want to
So,
go over the stuff that's in my mailbox?
yes.
Our
we're-
mailbox?
We're ready for a timely item.
Oh, actually, before that, I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Well,
Didn't
We
you
don't
send
have
out minutes?
no, because I wasn't in the meeting. I
Oh,
was kind of going, oh, maybe somebody.
what? So that was like a month ago that you sent minutes.
Well, the
So
minutes,
did the last one.
oh, there were minutes from 2 meetings ago.
Which we voted on last meeting.
Did we?
Yeah, we
You
took
did,
care of those.
okay, and those are all
All
posted,
right.
actually, they're already posted.
I was trying so hard.
Okay, what do we got here? Pat Erickson from Thompson Liston Associates. Looking to seek approval for A&R to alter lot lines for 3 lots, not creating any new lots. Wanted to know what the fee would be.
It's 75 for the first and 50 for each subsequent.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
$175.
I never
There's
used
a 25 for each.
mail. I wonder how I respond. Oh, there it is. I see a little button. Reply.
Is that right? Or I got that wrong.
I think it's 50 and
50
25.
and 25 it is. I'm sorry. So it'd be $100.
No, Yeah.
50 for the first and
Yeah, yeah,
25
yeah,
for
yeah.
each one.
I'm just gonna stop talking.
Time for you to go
I gotta
to
get back
to
to
New
money I
Mexico.
spent. I gotta spend $86. I gotta get it back. $88.
All right, that was easy. And
Well, it's easy. So you're gonna reach out and tell them?
I just replied. It's all done.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh, efficient.
approval not required plan Pleasant Street, Ken Conover. I sent you a message. Oh, here we are. This office filed the attached plan at Town Hall yesterday afternoon for property owned by Timothy Wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
We can track our feet on that one probably. Yeah. Okay, Margaret Nardowitz.
They're earning their money, that's for sure, huh?
I put plans in your mailbox and notice the box is very full. Could be a reason.
Emailed me separately.
You got that? Okay.
Chastise me. Yep.
Plans received today from David Ross. That's good. Let's see, Doreen Middleton. Good morning. Are there any new retail development projects before the planning board? Banks, pharmacies, restaurants, stores of any type, size, have any submitted projects been withdrawn? Thank you. Doreen Midland, Research Supervisor, Key Point Partners. Your answer to that question.
Well, there really hasn't.
Retail, any new retail projects before the planning board?
We'd say no,
Not really, right?
but
Oh,
as of today's date, nothing in the,
no.
All right, we will respond to Doreen. Let's see, job offer, security, this security education thing, Tom, I think they're gonna be sending, you're gonna have a black Cadillac pulling your driveway with dark tint windows.
They want you to carry the tools, though.
Yeah.
you got it.
I'll wear gloves just in case my fingerprints rub off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Building 3 Bassett Road permit.
3,000.
I'm looking for a BYOB permit and an entertainment license. Well, I think we saw that one. Didn't we see that? No? Yeah, that was for the cigar. That was the thing at Riverbridge, right?
Right.
We got that some other way. Are we talking about that or what's going on with that?
Well, I think he froze again.
Oh, no.
Nope,
No,
temporarily.
Did you freeze, Tim?
I think Tim froze for a second.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
It's a bug crawling down our wire, Tim.
Glitch in the matrix.
Where did I see that? I think you sent it around, didn't you, Tom? The proposal for the
I don't
wine and
recall.
beer cigar bar.
Oh, I sent something around.
Yeah, I don't recall doing it.
Well, there's this Jackie McStay.
She
Is that-
evidently talked to the building inspector, and I think at this point, we don't need to do anything.
Okay. Melanie Williams. I recently received a zoning verification letter back and it stated they would have to contact this department for the copy of the site plan. I was wondering if the site plan for the property located at 521 Lynch Boulevard is available and what I would need to do to receive a copy. Project coordinator for Bureau Veritas.
Must be Donald Lynch.
Yeah, but is
Donald Lynch.
5 Donald Lynch in
521 Donald Lynch.
21? That's gotta be way up the other end, right? Is
I
that
mean, the
Berlin?
only Donald Lynch stuff we've got is, we
Banner
don't-
Hill,
I mean, technically Donald Lynch is all in Marlboro.
right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's frontage for Macy's. Well, that's in Marlboro. There's frontage for
It's the Sears,
Sears
it's the
and,
Sears Car Care building.
oh, Sears Car Care, yeah,
That's in Berlin.
that's in Berlin. So what do they
She was
want?
looking for, what did I say?
Something about a site plan.
Yeah, I would have to contact us for a copy of the site plan.
Brother,
The mall development is up in the town offices.
1996.
Yeah,
Whew.
but I think it's in the flat files, Tim. See, that was
Yeah.
prior to. that was
Well, oh,
prior
it's
to-
in the corner file. By the
Eloise
outside
is-
door.
Looking to chime in.
Okay.
Eloise.
Can't they just, wasn't that recorded at Worcester Registry of Deeds?
Oh, good, that's it. Send them to the registry.
Maybe they're gonna do something good with it.
You know, whatever is recorded is the latest and the greatest.
Well, we hope, right?
Oh, as opposed to what we have might be several iterations of it, you mean?
Right, could be.
Should I send
mean,
it
the
to
site
Eloise or the
plan-
registry?
Sick the registry, send her to the registry.
It's masslandrecords.com.
What is it again? Masslandrecords.com?
Yeah,
And
All one
she's-
word?
yep.
But I mean, they'll have to look at New England Development, right?
Probably.
New England Development would have been the proponent, and they were the ones who got the approval and filed under their name, I would imagine.
But a lot of times you can look it up under address too.
Yeah,
Is the pizza out here? Go through the whole red light.
If she can't find it there, who would she talk to in Berlin?
I think
Try to
she
get to our
can
files.
Back to the planning board.
yeah, we can, in that file next to the back door in that room are all the Solomon Pond things, I think. Because the flat files are mostly subdivisions for new roads and stuff.
All right, I'll try to try the other stuff first.
Boy, there's a lot of email.
Oh, there's like a million things here, but most of it is junk.
Easy to do.
You got the sign that you guys just talked about. Biden administration. Biden wants to move to town. Now we're getting to pretty old stuff here. Oh, what's that? Attention department heads. Somebody's already dealing with that one. That's not us. I'm looking to get a hold of the site plan for the development that I live in. I am located at 11 Bigelow. Can you send me the site plan that was approved by the town prior to the approval for the developer to start construction? That's the Mark Rhodes thing across 495, isn't it?
What's the name of it?
11 Bigelow.
14 Bigelow? Where's 14 Bigelow?
Must be, yeah.
That's ZBA. That was a 40B.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's the Mark Rhodes
Green Acres.
Green Acres. Yep. I thought that was a TV show. No, okay. All right. Justin. Please contact us, DBA. Okay. You're gonna have to hire a clerk to go through all our files and stuff. We get a lot of these.
I thought you were the clerk.
Yeah. Rats.
19 Carter, and we ever get a resolution on that? I don't think so. That noise they're making.
Tim, I thought these emails were going to you.
No. The Community Preservation Act emails come. to me.
Oh, that's right.
Take it easy.
Sorry.
All right, here's one. Jim Kazmierzak. I was hoping to speak with someone to confirm some information. The short version is a company, Habitek, wants to put a road through part of my property, 248 Central Street. Where's that?
248 Central. For what? And
Somebody wants to put a road through his property?
Well, let's find out where it is and I'll read you the rest. Okay, 248 Central, which is the house. It's that Victorian between Moe's and the dog place.
They
Okay.
want to access the back property.
Blue, probably. Let's read the rest of it and we'll see. Due to an easement agreement I have, I am obligated to forfeit a 50-foot strip of land but they say they need 60 feet to comply with regulations. Basically, I was hoping to speak with someone over the phone or in person to review what this company is proposing and determine if they're telling me what is required by law or what would just make things convenient for them, cut out the middleman and go straight to the source of information, as it were.
Wow.
Huh.
Right?
Well,
So there's an
it's easy.
easement across that nice house?
There's not much land there.
No, there's not.
Let's take a look and see here.
That's a nice house. They want to put a, well, if they don't have 60 feet, they can't put a road in.
And
There's a river behind it too.
there's, yeah, that I'm looking on Mass Oliver right now. There's a giant wetland back there.
It's gigantic, right?
Yeah.
What are they
Yeah,
trying
I
to
mean,
get
it
to?
really goes all the way into Hog Swamp.
So are they trying to get to the parcel that's for sale, the 40 acres from
Must
there?
be,
Must be.
must be.
Oh,
Why
forget it.
wouldn't- Why wouldn't they go on the other side? Because it's just too much road work?
The hill, probably, huh?
Right.
But the wetlands aren't problematic on that side.
No.
There's, well, non-existent because of all the uphill.
Yeah, I wouldn't be amenable to allowing somebody to build with less than the 60.
And if he doesn't have, if the easement's only for 50, he doesn't have to give them 60, right?
I wouldn't think so. And you're not going to let them cross the wetlands anyway,
Right,
because they have another means of egress.
right.
Phew. Send them, oh boy, I don't know. They need to, we don't answer that question
Nope.
via an email, I don't think. They have to come and show up. Make an appointment
Yeah, tell them to make an appointment with the planning board.
or go talk to conservation first.
Yeah, suggest that they talk to conservation first and then make a meeting with the planning board.
Yeah,
If they want to pursue it.
well. of
Right,
course,
but it
this is-
sounds like-
This is
right.
the owner of the land that,
Of the land.
yeah. Well, in either case, they ought to, I mean, it'd be good for them to talk to conservation because they'd probably get a handle from you guys. Well, and you could talk about this other issue. Well, they'd kill two birds with one stone going to conservation.
Right,
Because you undoubtedly would explain the situation as we see it,
correct.
except you'll be in New Mexico.
Yeah, well, we don't have a meeting next week. We canceled it because I'll be in New Mexico next week.
Boy, what a way to
Um,
operate, huh?
And, right?
Zoom can be done in New Mexico, I'm sure.
Absolutely. They have internet there.
Well, I will be in the middle of the Gila Wilderness.
Oh,
and
good.
I'm
Oh, I love
not-
that place.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure what the Wi-Fi situation is, so.
Just
I'm
as good
at-
as, just as good as Jay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that AT&T has no cell service out there.
I went out there to the testing range, which was amazing.
Hmm.
Shrapnel everywhere. F-14s flying 100 feet over your little.
Yeah, that's
Trailer.
not entirely the experience I'm looking for.
There's also some great mountains. All right, so I've gotten to the point here where even though there's 2001 messages, which I don't think we're going to get through tonight, it's like stopped. I got through the first 100 or something, and then it just came to a stop.
Right, because you have to load the next page.
Well, I don't know how to do that, so I guess we'll have to postpone that till next meeting.
Perfect. Once they get to a certain age, then the statute of limitations runs out, right?
You know, Jay, we really appreciate you being the recipient of these.
Should probably look at them more than once every 2 weeks.
No wonder your internet isn't working. You're clogged up with all this crap.
All bogged down. Planning board crap.
Oh my. I thought of something the other morning, totally out of the blue, that's relevant to the planning board.
Yes.
There's something very unique about Berlin from a housing standpoint. We have not only one, 2 co-housing developments in our town.
Yeah.
How many other towns in the state of Massachusetts have 1, but certainly not 2 co-housing developments?
Right.
And they've been there for 15 years, right? Because they were putting them up when I moved in.
Yep.
I'm wondering, since we're always talking about affordable housing, not that that is, but would it be a good idea for us as the planning board to invite somebody in from each one of those developments just to tell us what it's like?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a slight modification on multifamily housing, but it would be interesting if it would just be interesting to know whether it's a big success, a total failure, or something in between. Because it is interesting that it's unique to our town.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
I think it would depend on who you brought in, whether they deemed it a success or a failure.
Maybe we should bring more than one person.
Right. Almost everybody that I know that lives up there absolutely loves it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, but I think that shouldn't really be a surprise because the people who buy into a development like that are looking for that way of life. I mean, you're not just buying a house, you're buying a community when
Yeah,
you buy
it's
up
self-
there.
It's self-selecting.
Well, I'm kind of
Correct.
curious how it's played out. You know, they made a bunch of assumptions when they built it because they built the common areas that had certain features in them, and they put the garages separate and had a little, walkways to the house. There were a whole bunch of choices they made that were a little bit unique, that it would be interesting to see which ones worked well and we might want to encourage more of, and which didn't.
Oh, you weren't here last time, were you? Did I talk about,
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
that's right.
Oh, right.
That's right.
so Evie and I went to
Riverwalk.
Riverwalk
Oh, you did?
in Concord, and right next to it is Mill Run, which is the new Riverwalk, similar number of units. And we talked to a woman who's lived there from the beginning at Riverwalk. She said her house is valued now at $800,000. She bought it for just over 5, I think. That was like,
Cheapest house in Concord, though, probably.
well, she said, and we said, we're interested in this because we're trying to figure out a way to build some housing that's going to cost less. And she said, well, certainly 800,000 seems like a lot, but for Concord, it's less. So, in our case, it works, she said. But the project was really interesting. And then we went to Carlisle, where the gate was up, so we couldn't go in. It's a project that's being developed by the same developer. And that's going to have some houses on single lots, but then into the project, another development that's similar to Riverwalk, a number of units close together, walk through the center, access, for vehicles from a distance, that sort of thing, similar to Mosaic and Camelot.
Hmm.
And then the guy has also built a project at Devon's, where Judy and Gordon Booman are living now. And so it seems as though we ought to, Evie got the information from the woman gave us the information on how to get in touch with the guy. So what we talked about was, probably it would be a good idea maybe to see if he wants to meet with us sometime and just throw around ideas about why he moved in the direction he did, and does it lower cost in real terms, and what's the difference between what he built in Devon's and cost it as opposed to the high rent district in Concord and stuff like that. So
I think that'd be really interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
One of the things that he's done, I did a little poking around on the internet afterwards, and one of the things that he's done is the design of the units are very, 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 very similar from each. So his architectural costs are very low.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, everything gets
Or
cheaper
tweaks.
because everybody works more efficiently when they're doing the same thing over and over, right? All the trades and everything.
Right.
Yeah, I think the town should consider buying the piece at River Run. You know, the.
Yeah, the one we have the
Senni-
option on, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got water. Senni's want to plug in their surge system to it. And, you know, throw it at this guy and say, what do you think? You know, could you build 8 or 10 houses up there on that parcel? You know, it seemed as though Senni's had come up with a plan where you could do 8 or 10 on the acreage that would be the parcel the town would pick up.
That would be 8 or 10 2-acre
No,
lots.
No,
or more
no,
dense?
it'd be a cluster like this.
Yeah.
So
that's the
but
wrong
we'd
word
have
to
to,
use.
we'd have to figure out how
Right.
to create the zoning
In a
that would
cluster,
allow it. It wouldn't be, wrong word.
wrong word.
It would be
They
a
call it
community.
Planned,
Community housing, a planned.
No,
housing,
there's
planned
a,
production.
there's another phrase for that I've learned in the CPMRC meetings where towns are encouraging it, right?
planned residential development allows by
Yeah.
special permit from the board an alternative pattern of residential land development is intended to encourage the conservation of open space while at the same time providing for a mixture and diversity of housing types in the town at somewhat greater dwelling unit densities than is otherwise permitted without a significant increase in townwide population density. In the planned residential development, dwelling units should be constructed in appropriate, wrong word, clusters that are harmonious with neighborhood development and will not detract from the ecological and visual qualities of the area and incorporate low impact development for stormwater design and green building practices. The overall site design and amenities should enhance the quality of living for the residents of the development, the immediate neighborhood, and the town. Attention, however, shall be given by the board as to whether the proposed site design, development layout, number, type, and design of housing constitute a suitable development for the neighborhood within which they are to be located. So this is Concord. I must have downloaded it. I'll send it around. It's about 6 pages, no, 7 pages.
And that lot, isn't that lot like 26 acres or something?
Their lot?
The one that we have the option on?
No, it's not that,
Not that big,
it's not that big.
Yeah, that space is good. There's 2 lots there, right?
right?
Space is split.
I think it's less than 10.
Really?
I think so. But the cool thing is if you put housing in there, you'd be able to open your window and climb out into the monkey trunks.
Yeah.
The aerial adventure thing.
Well, that's true.
That could be the way you get from one house to another.
So what they say is that shall be permitted upon a single tract in one ownership with definite boundaries ascertainable from a recorded deed, which has an area of not less than 4 times the minimum lot area of the zoning district within which it is situated.
Say
So-
that again, not less than 4 times?
Right.
Yeah, not less than 4 times. So, I mean, in that zone limited business, so you can't build houses there at all. But if you voted this as an overlay and applied it, then if you use that formula, a lot size in Berlin's 80,000 square feet, 2 acres, so you'd have to have
8
8
acres.
acres, which you probably have on that site.
Right.
Existing public or private ways need not constitute boundaries of the tract, but the area within any. Maximum permissible density within the district shall not exceed 2 times the total number of dwelling units obtained through application of subsection. So if you had 8 acres and you normally could build 4 houses in, if you follow this guideline, you'd be able to build 8. So, I mean, that's in a way what we're talking about. So,
Right.
and then well water would be available, so they wouldn't have to be drilling a well. They'd reduce costs there. They can hitch up to Riverbridge's septic. That's going to cost them, but probably not as much as 8 individual
There-
septic systems.
Is there a pipe going up there from the septic?
Well,
Where's the septic system?
Sennies are eager to have anybody
Hook in.
run into their
Right, but
system.
is it
so
on the other, way down the other side of the road near the,
They'd have to, yeah, they'd have to link into somewhere along where the daycare center is. So that's not too far, really.
yeah. Well, it'd be interesting if some of these people come talk to us.
I don't know if this guy was the one who developed this zoning. He may have helped and been instrumental since he was eager to utilize it, so. But I'll download this and send it around to everybody.
Yeah, it'd be interesting whether the developer created the idea or whether the town planners created it.
I'll get the
and offered it
information.
up.
I'll get his contact information from Evie, and then I can talk to Tom about some time when we might want to invite him.
Jay, I know several people who live up between Mosaic and Camelot, if you ever wanted to have a tour.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
It's a very cool thing.
Actually, maybe that would make more sense if to have some night where we could go visit each one of them and meet with them up there.
Yeah.
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 Like to see that.
Yeah, I've attended several different events and dinners, mostly at Mosaic, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you could set it up.
I certainly could. I'd be happy to.
That'd be awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
I know they have a big problem with horses riding through their property and pooping all over the place.
Horses from you?
Allegedly.
Some of them tolerate it and some of them don't like it.
Right. Well, just like anybody else, I guess, huh?
Just tell them it's nature.
That's right.
Don't step in it.
Organic, it's organic.
Tell him it's a moose.
Moose.
Yeah. Better than the people who walk Gates Pond and take their dog waste and put it in a very colorful little bag and then leave it on the side of the trail.
Well, that gets picked up by the government, doesn't it?
Yeah, the big G government.
That's water for Hudson. When you drink water in Hudson, you're drinking horse
I
poop
know.
and dog poop and all sorts of poop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the Facebook is always awash with lots of people talking about the fact that people walk their dogs off leash over there because there's no leash law in Berlin, but there is a leash law around the area per the city of Hudson, town of Hudson, and yeah. But I just the little plastic bags full of the most biodegradable substance on the planet just kills me.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a problem on trails all over. Like it's a thing that people do now, and I just don't understand. Yeah.
You're supposed to bring it home with you.
Yes, you are. But that's even the worst part over at Gates Pond. There's trash receptacles there. If you don't want to put it in your car, walk your dog in your own yard.
Yep.
Yeah, not a fan.
Let dogs run. Anybody remember Jay Kohler? Jay Kohler
No.
owned Spooky World before it was Spooky World.
Hmm.
And he moved out of town a long time ago. He's living in New Hartford, Connecticut now, up in Litchfield County, I guess. And out of the blue, he called me yesterday. But Jay Kohler's comment about Berlin was let dogs run free, because he remembered a town meeting way back and when a Girl Scout tried to propose a leash law and got permission to speak at town meeting to present the need for a leash law in town and represent this bylaw change that was going to be on the warrant. And it got voted down big. I mean, she made this nice presentation and boom. And afterwards, Jay's comment was, let dogs run free. So when I talked to him yesterday, I said, I keep telling people about let dogs run free. And he said, oh yeah, I remember that. So. But he said there's a documentary about Spooky World and
Yeah,
Really?
the
Yep.
impact it had on a lot of the people that work there or something like that.
Wow.
Is that
there's
true?
there's a dedicated Facebook page with a teaser trailer and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll see. I can go. I think the trailer is on YouTube. I can find the link and email it to you guys.
So there is really this.
Oh, yeah.
It's being worked on, or is it done?
I believe it's been shot, but it hasn't been released yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was talking about that. He says, I'm calling because I heard there was a documentary being made about Spooky World. And, what do you know? And I said, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know
Anything?
anybody still in town that was like interviewed or even asked about it or anything.
Huh, funny.
Didn't pretty much everyone in town work there?
A lot of us did, yeah. A lot of people.
I bet that was a lot of fun. I'm sorry I missed that.
It was pretty bizarre.
It was the first time I ever came to Berlin.
Really?
Yep, was to go to Spooky World.
That was your first impression of Berlin? Did you get backed up onto 495 trying to get in?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The traffic was horrific. The line to get from 290, especially because at the time I lived in Wakefield.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so and the direction said 290 to River Road. So
So where did everybody park?
They parked initially they parked in the field across the street. And then gradually they did more parking in the gravel pit where those houses are.
Yep.
In that subdivision below Boundless.
Yeah.
And actually for a while they ran both of those because I remember the first night we had 5 tractors, I think. And they weren't tractors with a lot of oomph to them because no, I don't think even Bertolino realized what he'd lit off. But anyway, they had this maze of ropes like you would at a ski tow in between the brick house and the Boundless Adventure lot. And so in that yard were all these rope walks, and so the tractors would come down and we'd pick people up. We could actually, I had 74 people on a wagon one night. I have the record of I have a trophy actually that says most patrons on a ride or something like that. But the line went back and forth in front of the house, and then it went all the way down along, on his property, but down River Road to practically to our line.
Wow.
and you look off in the distance and all you'd see would be lights coming in from 290, just
Yeah,
stopped,
headlights.
just stopped.
It,
Just,
like an hour to get from 290 over to the property.
and this.
Was it worth it? Was it that good?
Oh, the state police went ballistic. I mean, they,
It was good, especially because nothing like that existed,
Right.
yeah.
you know, and it was well done. It wasn't super cheesy.
Huh.
How many years did they do that? 5 or
7, I
6?
think.
Oh, okay, yeah,
6 or 7.
yeah.
But he,
Because it was real tractors and real hay and real barn and, you know, like it
Oh,
wasn't,
okay.
Yeah.
it wasn't artificial.
well, and he had up above, he built that extra building behind the house.
Yep.
And he had memorabilia from all sorts of horror movies, you know?
Mhm.
Right. Elvira even came a couple of times,
Tiny
Like-
Tim,
like the actual Elvira.
yeah, and Linda Blair,
Yeah,
Linda Blair
Tiny-
came? Oh, wow.
Tiny Tim.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was the first Halloween theme park, right? In the
Tiny Tim
country.
got married there.
That's true.
And then the guy that sang the Monster Mash, he was there. And oh, what's his face? Bill Maher.
Bill Maher?
Bill Maher was doing almost like stand-up before he had his show.
Yeah,
And they pulled him. I mean, so they had these trailers behind the stage area. So while people were waiting in line, eventually Bertolino figured out, I got these people waiting in line for hours and they're going to go on a 16-minute hayride. I better figure out a way to entertain them. So he started bringing in acts to perform. So Tiny Tim and the Monster Mash guy and Bill Maher was doing stuff on this
wow.
little
Wow.
stage while they were waiting. It was crazy.
Now, were they serving beer or anything?
There was no alcohol.
No
No.
alcohol.
No,
But then they started in front of the barn with that whole carnival row, you know, they had, you know, all sorts of food and, you know, shoot hoops in the oval basket, you know, and you'd stand beside it and think, how can you get a ball through that? It's not circular, you know? But people were spending $1 a shot for that. And, oh yeah, on and on.
Wow.
And then the barn had a big maze in it that you walk through.
yep.
And then he built that other building, the Butler building, the red one, and he started putting exhibits in there too,
Hmm.
that people would go through. Bizarre.
Yep.
But yeah, we had a trailer leaving every 3 minutes. So we were putting 50 people on a trailer and
Wow.
taking off from like 6:30 at night to midnight. Sometimes later, but generally midnight we were done.
Wow.
And we,
Yep.
yeah, eventually we had 6 or 7 wagons.
Now, what was the traffic like in the rest of town? Like were people cut through and?
No, it wasn't.
Side,
No, it wasn't too bad.
No, but getting through that end of town was brutal. 'Cause I
Oh,
used
I
to
bet.
sides in Marlboro and it was horrible. I'd go all the way around instead of
Yeah.
cutting through.
Sure. Yep.
I mean, eventually he got the parking squared away well enough, so they weren't backing up onto 290 anymore.
But it was still a steady stream getting to the parking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Carl Reese owned the field across the street and he owned the pit. And because Bertolino only owned 5 acres, so Bertolino had to negotiate with Reese to rent space in his fields. And he'd say, I love Carl, he said, but I'd say, Carl, I'll pick you up. We'll go to the lawyer and we'll sign the contract, you know, for my lease of the land. Carl said, okay, you know, pick me up at 2:30. So he goes over and picks Carl up. And he says, Carl's fine. Everything good, Carl? Yep. We're on the same page. Carl says, well, you know, I've been thinking. So when the car ride to the law office, Reese would hold him up and say, no, I don't think I can agree to what we agreed to. I need more, you know, and Bertolino didn't have any choice. He had to negotiate. So
Sure.
crazy.
Wow.
Was he making a lot of money on it?
Bertolino?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing, the tractor drivers, there were like 14 of us, you know, and so there'd always be a couple spare tractor drivers each night. And Larry Wheeler, who lived down here, he was the guy who sort of coordinated, made sure that the machines were running. I mean, he understood equipment and stuff. So if we had a flat tire, you know, we could change it in 5 minutes and that sort of thing. So Bertolino's father was the one who had the joke shop there in Boston. That's where Bertolino got started and all this stuff. And Tom Delaney was working there too. He was in the place beyond 1790. He was driving. Malloy was driving. Larry and his son were driving. So there were, you know, a lot of guys in the neighborhood were driving. But Delaney always tells the story that so, well, Bertolino's father says, Larry, come here. I need some help. And so Larry goes over and it's shopping bags full of cash. And he says, here, carry these for me, will you? And he goes out to the parking lot and he flips open the trunk. He says, here, put them in there. And so in they go, close the trunk, drive off. There was cash floating around that place. Unbelievable. And it was just walking. I mean, you know, it was something.
Wow.
Shopping bags full of cash.
Ah, those were the days.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Crazy.
No,
Yeah, what a character. Bertolino was something else. But I mean, he knew. I can remember you'd be in a grocery store and a 6-pack of Coke, you know, there'd be stacks of them. And there'd be this little collar tag, you know, stuck to it. And it would be a certificate for, you know, $3 off a ticket at Spooky World. And, you know, they'd be covered. And you'd think to yourself, what is going on? You know, is this guy for real? And then there were bulletin boards in Worcester, of course, saying Spooky World. And you're thinking, he's going to bring people in from all over. And of course he did.
Radio.
Yeah.
Radio,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they started advertising in like August or something.
Well, and he was on the Today Show. Willard Scott was here, you know,
Wow.
introducing, I know, that first, the grand opening and stuff.
Yeah, it was a big thing. It was like not just a big thing in Berlin. It was a big thing.
You know, when they first started, Larry Wheeler was down next to the barn and they started to excavate, you know, for the trail. And I went and said, what are you doing? And he says, well, you know, Bertolino wants us to create these berms so the tractors will be hidden from each other as they, you know, go around this little 5-acre pad. And I said, well, you can't just start moving earth around. He's got to go to the Board of Appeals, you know? And so Bertolino goes in with his plan to the Board of Appeals and he says, you know, I want to do these haunted hay rides. And everybody's going, Emerson Chandler was on the Board of Appeals saying, yeah, right. You don't want to do haunted hay rides here in Berlin, you know? And where are you going to park the cars? Well, we're going to park them right here. They were going to park them on the 5 acres initially when they first started talking. And then, of course, it got a little more complex. So they had to figure out something else. So they started working with Reese. But even Bertolino didn't understand what he was getting into.
Right.
I mean,
How big it was going to become.
just exploded, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's still some structures in the wetlands back there.
Yeah, there's stuff on the wall leaning over onto our property. Yeah, the spaceship and stuff.
Yeah.
But he had a helicopter, an Army helicopter or Air Force helicopter, whatever, that was sitting there. He had that spaceship thing. He had, oh man, on and on. And and the fog machines would create so much fog, and we didn't have lights on the tractors that we were using. So we'd be coming up into the fog, and there were actors that were supposed to be coming up to the wagons and stuff. And you wouldn't have a clue where you were driving sometimes. You'd say, I think I know where the road still is. And you'd turn down and you'd try to, you'd use, there was one overhead light that we'd use as sort of a guide. You'd say, okay, if I keep that to this position in the sky, I'm going to be all right. Oh, man. Then some actor would get run over by a wagon, stupid kids. They were jumping on wagons and stuff, running between the tractor and the trailer in the dark. And,
Wow.
yeah, the good
Gorgeous
old
in
days.
the
You're
movie.
right, Karen.
Yeah.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, we better adjourn before we get any more mail.
Yeah.
All right. Hearing none, I will call a vote. Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
Tom Sanford, aye.